Lawmakers just introduced a bill that could force online platforms like Etsy to pay 3 times a seller's damages for an unlawful suspension or freezing your money. It would even let a seller sue in federal court despite a mandatory arbitration agreement. And my favorite sentence in this bill is generic or templated responses shall not satisfy these requirements. Somewhere just now, an Etsy AI slop support ticket just felt a chill. But listen, before the party and the parade, this is just a proposal and not a law yet. And it does not specifically name Etsy. However, they are implied. The sponsors keep naming Amazon and Walmart, but it will, if passed, cover Etsy sellers most likely. Maybe it's time to contact your legislators and tell them to support Bill HR 9799. The problems described in this bill frequently appear in recent Etsy seller posts: frozen money, sudden suspensions, vague explanations, and appeals that answers a completely different question. Honestly, this might be our moment, guys. Seriously, go read the bill. It looks pretty promising. Check out this post. Literally a few days ago on August 3rd, an 8-year Etsy seller wrote in Etsy Sellers subreddit that Etsy had placed a reserve on the account. The seller reported $20,000 to $25,000 in most recent monthly revenue, $7,500 held, and a loan taken to keep fulfilling orders. They said support kept sending the same copy and paste explanation of how reserves work. Sales rose, expenses followed, and the money needed to produce orders went behind glass. The seller also said that they had some late orders and that revenue jumped from $3,000 to $11,000 to $20,000 in 3 months. Commenters said those facts could explain the reserve, and they do. Etsy places holds frequently on huge increases like this, especially if there's late orders involved. One Reddit post cannot tell us whether Etsy acted randomly, though. It does show how a reserve plus a useless explanation can turn rapid growth into a cash flow emergency and massive headache. If a covered marketplace investigates a seller, deactivates an account, or suspends a listing, the bill says it must identify the specific rule, relevant facts or documents, proposed penalty, appeal steps, and expected timeline. No more generic mindless responses. I imagine these online marketplaces will lobby lawmakers to not let this pass, claiming that it'll hurt their profit margins by forcing them to deploy actual humans to deal with the real problems. Oh no. The bill also says a platform cannot suspend a seller or freeze funds based on only suspicion. The platform would carry the burden of proof and have to prove the violation. That's exactly what we want. Real quick, guys, check the description for helpful links like a free Etsy ads cheat sheet, as well as my app, AddToCartSEO, that helps you do your titles, tags, and a lot more. For certain fund holds, the proposed limit is 30 days unless the platform can show, without a doubt, the evidence that the money came from unlawful transactions. Material fee or policy changes would require 30 days written notice. If a covered platform violates the law and injures a seller, the seller could sue for 3 times the damages and the costs and reasonable attorney fees. Now let's look at Etsy's current payments policy. Etsy gives an example of a fixed reserve holding 30% for a 45-day rolling period. Its variable reserve language allows money to be delayed for up to 180 days or placed in reserve for up to 90. Separate holds and deposit delays can also reach 180 days in some circumstances. That's insane. How does it take that long to verify anything? Etsy says these tools manage risk and refunds, chargebacks, fraud, counterfeiting, and other claims. Okay, no problem. Etsy says these tools manage risk from refunds, chargebacks, fraud, counterfeiting, and other claims. Okay, fair enough, but 180 days? Etsy's policy lists sales volume, order backlogs, tracking, disputes, warning, delivery estimates, and shipping status among its risk factors. That gives context to the seller's late orders and revenue jump. It does not make a copy and paste reply useful or even meaningful. Either way, to avoid these fund freezes and money holds, you can do a few things. Even if this bill doesn't pass, this is what I want you to do. If your listing or entire store blows up, for example, I want you to be super careful. Ship the orders as fast as you can. If you can manage the extra work and possible stress until you figure out a better system to sell more volume, then absolutely do that. The biggest situation I've seen personally is where sellers aren't shipping fast enough. A ton of overdue orders or even just just a few combined with an abrupt increase in order volume, that usually triggers these holds. So ship your orders as fast as possible and make sure to respond to customers very quickly. That's literally the best thing you can do to avoid these fund freezes either way, but especially when you see a jump like that, like the Reddit post described. However, the point is not that Etsy should stop enforcing rules. A seller should be able to see the actual case and answer it before the process threatens the business under review. I would also say that the 180-day hold period is extremely overreaching. Etsy itself acknowledges that inaccurate enforcement occasionally happens. Really, occasionally. In another Reddit post, a seller with 101 sales said Etsy repeatedly failed to verify a valid Portuguese ID. The appeal response reportedly said Etsy could not approve the opening of the shop, except the shop already existed. The seller later reported that Etsy identified a system problem, another verification attempt worked, and the shop returned. A system can be wrong. A generic reply gives that seller nothing useful to correct, and it just adds more insult to injury. And if your store is taken down even momentarily, that hurts the livelihood of a human. So Etsy, where's your celebrating being human then? Would this new law, if passed, even cover Etsy? Maybe, and I would say yes, very likely. That is the giant unresolved question, however. The bill defines a critical trading partner broadly enough that Etsy could definitely fit that description. But it defines a third-party seller as somebody selling on a dominant platform, which Etsy absolutely is. Then never defines what dominant means. The money rule is pretty fuzzy too. Its 30-day exception concerns funds derived from unlawful, illegal transactions. Etsy says its reserve may cover future refunds and chargebacks. Those categories do not line up neatly, so this bill cannot be read as a 30-day cap on every Etsy reserve. So it's not a complete slam dunk just yet. As of August 8th, GovInfo still lists the bill as introduced and referred to judiciary. So we're a long way from Etsy writing checks. A suspension can take the shop, the money, and the straight answer at once. Congress has now put that exact complaint into legislative text. Tell the seller the rule, show the evidence, and give them a real appeal process, and stop pretending a template is due process. Today's real win is that Congress is finally treating the computer said no as a business threatening decision that would require receipts. A platform, and especially AI, should not be able to erase your income faster than it can explain why.